Hi, it's me, Wade, that mobile home guy, coming to you from the other side of the stop sign where the pizza delivery fears to deliver. We all know how brave they are for that $2 tip. Alright, so real quick, we didn't get the mobile home deal. I was saddened, disappointed. I pouted a little bit. But, long story short, the guy emails me while I'm asleep saying, hey, my wife sold it that morning. And, they were selling the mobile home to pay for her dad's medical expenses, so I'm glad that they were able to do that. Here's the thing about that. On the day that I decided that I wanted to buy this mobile home, I purchased a NADA guide, and the NADA guides go for like $70 a quarter. I'm going to get into that in a minute. It takes them 7 business days. I bought it on a Friday, and they don't actually calculate until the next business day. So I realized I'm not going to get this anytime soon. I knew that I was going to get a good deal purchasing this mobile home for $2,500. But I kind of wanted reassurance that I was doing the right thing, that I was still, that things hadn't changed that much since me and Dave went our separate ways. His real name's not Dave. The thing is that I remembered that I did this online at one time. I couldn't remember from where. And then I found my old report. And Mobile Home Village actually can do a comp for you. They'll do a NADA price sheet. And I forgot about this one thing. So I go through and I put down everything I can think of that I remember about this mobile home. And this is before I know I don't have it, right? And I send off for the report, and they tell me it can take up to 12 days. And I'm like, crap. But anyway, on the day that I find out that I'm not getting the mobile home, I was real bummed. And on the way home from work, I went through one of the mobile home parks that I really like. I've been through this mobile home park before. The second mobile home, one of the ones that we passed on, the one that was, I haven't gotten into this, but it had no floor and the roof was caving in. That's all water damage. Your first mobile home deal as a Lonnie dealer, you don't want it to be a major renovation. You want it to be like, paint, cleaning type thing. I went through that park and I found 3 mobile homes for sale. I called on all 3 of them. The lady that I talked to, the first one, she did something I consider pretty rude, but I can understand why she did it. She actually said, hey, I'm heading over there to show the mobile home now. Why don't you meet me over there, and after they're done, I'll walk you through. Okay, she's pretty smart. Here's why. And if you're going to be selling mobile homes, try and do this and watch what happens. You walk the couple through knowing that the other buyer is going to be sent outside. And then when you bring them out, you're like, oh, here's the next guy that's going to buy this house. If you don't buy it right away, he's going to put an offer on it. He really wants it. Those people are going to whip out a checkbook really fast if they're able. Okay? It's kind of a mean thing to do to the guy that's just showing up because he wants the mobile home. Alright, so anyway, that mobile home sold, and it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, not a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it sold for $3,000. The 2 other mobile homes were also 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and they had sold. Now, part of that was my fault because I wasn't calling them every day. I think it's kind of rude to keep calling people back. They should have the brains that if you called and said, hey, I'm calling about the mobile home for sale, they should call you back and say, yes, I've got the mobile home for sale. How can I help you? But that's not what they did. So I gave them a little bit and called them like alternative days. All of them had sold, and they sold for like between $2,400 and $3,000. Okay? So I come home and I'm talking via the Yahoo chat thing with my business partner Robert. And while I'm talking, the Mobile Home Village report comes in. And I take a look at this report, and it tells me this mobile home that I wanted to buy, the one I didn't get, the one for $2,500, that the with the comps and everything, it not as out at $6,500. Wow. Because I told Robert, hey, let's flip this thing for $5,000. You know, I was pretty sure, you know, more like I had a gut feeling, but I was pretty sure that if we tried to sell it for $5,000, we'd be able to sell it pretty quick. Well, it turns out I was really right, and here's why. If you ever get one of these reports, and I'll try and put the link in the show notes. I know I'm not really good about it. I'm sorry. And I don't go back and watch old shows to see where I forgot to put links. I'm bad. Anyway, it has on this report like comps for the area, and I'll just nutshell for you because otherwise it'll go on forever. The average price for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath is around $12,000. They're a little bit younger, like these are 1985 units, and they go up from there. The majority of mobile homes are way above $6,000. You know, like the cheap ones are $12,000 type thing. Also, the longest time it took to sell a mobile home in my area was 42 days. Now, basically, there's only like 18 parks near me, and I am one of those people who, if I want to know something, I'll start researching it really hard. You know, I told you about that before. I started calling the mobile home parks. I found out what it was. 1974 Clayton. That's, I always get the name wrong. It's a 1974 Clayton. Okay, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, and they got $10,000 for it. And the reason why it took 42 days is because they wouldn't take less than $10,000, and somebody paid it. Okay, it makes sense because other 2-bedroom, 1-baths are going for $12,000, and they're 1985s. And unless you want to spend $2,000 more, you'll buy this 1974. And they got it. So if my business partner and I are showing up and buying older mobile homes, and we are selling them for, you know, $5,000, $6,000, they're going to sell really fast and really well. The funny thing is, when I was talking about this with my business partner, he said, that's 42 days. We got to pay lot rent. And I said, dude, that's like 2 months. We basically roll that into the cost of the mobile home. And he said, well, you know, what do we do about the leftover days if we sell on the 42nd day? And I said, we pretend to be nice and say, here, you know what, lot rent's paid up through the end of the month. They pay for it when they purchase the mobile home because we've rolled the lot rent into that cost. But we tell them, hey, you know what, we'll throw in the lot rent. I'm really excited about this. The reason why you don't hear me talking about how I found another great deal is kind of twofold. The hard money lender, I haven't deposited the check yet, and that's because I want to make sure that we can do this when we have a deal in place, and she's actually going to tell me when I can deposit the check. The other thing is that I want to have the NADA guide, and kind of here's why. I hope that this doesn't happen in this area because we keep finding mobile homes that are for sale for $3,000. And here's the most bizarre thing about it. All of these are in parks where there's the sign in the door, in the window. They're not advertising on Craigslist. They're not advertising in the big city newspaper. They're not advertising in the local paper, and they're not advertising in the weekly ad paper. They're like the Penny Saver, the Thrifty Nickel, those type things. They're not advertising. They're just waiting for people to drive through the park, and I think that's why they're not charging very much because they don't understand. I can't wait to get my hands on the first one. The deal is, if somebody's trying to, I don't know, say stiff us, I want to be able to pull out the NADA guide and make sure that the wholesale price for that mobile home is what I'm willing to pay. The other thing is, there's this thing called answering to a higher power in business, and I want to be able to point to this page in the NADA guide and say, hey, look, this is how much it says this is worth wholesale. I can only pay wholesale. If I pay anything above this, Barbara's going to gut me like a fish. She's going to skin me alive, roll me in salt, and then feed me to small children. I can only offer you this much. However, if you're willing to accept this much, I can be back here in an hour with a certified check. You know, if somebody says no, I know that I didn't pay over NADA. Okay, the other thing is that I make this invisible power the bad guy. And the bad guy that I picked is an ex-girlfriend's mom, who she loved me until she found out that her daughter was going to be moving halfway across America. As soon as she found out that her daughter was going to be moving halfway across America, she decided that I was something evil. And I just want to point something out really quick. Most people don't have their degree in psychology, and what they know about psychology they learn from TV, and it's all wrong. Okay, here's this little quirk about psychopaths. Psychopaths have no sense of humor. Real psychopaths, they can do knock-knock jokes, but they can't understand situational comedy. So when somebody's telling a funny story, the psychopath won't laugh at it. Or if they're telling you a funny story, they're not going to be laughing the way I am. And she basically tried to convince her daughter that I was this evil psychopath. It was the dumbest thing ever. So anyway, that's just my little personal thing about how dumb people are. That girlfriend and I didn't work out. I didn't end up with that mother-in-law, but I'm always in the back of my mind thinking, if I had this person for a mother-in-law, what would holidays be like? And it would have been hell. And so I kind of pass that on to the buyers when I'm saying, hey, Barbara wouldn't like me to pay more than this. It works. It's amazing how it works. And plus, you don't have to be the bad guy. You're able to go, I feel for you, I understand for you, and if you want to sell it for this price, go ahead, sell it to somebody else. You know, I hope that you get it because it's what you want. But if you decide that you can't sell at that price and you're willing to accept this amount, you let me know and I'll be over here with a certified check. Okay, I'm sorry, but Barbara won't let me write a check for any more than that. She'll kill me. And that's all you need. That higher power. Basically, you got the NADA guide. I know I'm going a little long. Trying to keep these short, but there's places where the NADA guide thing won't work. As an example, in Southern California, there was a mobile home that went for like $1.7 million, and it had to be moved. I guess if you got $1.7 million, you got the $3,000 to move the mobile home. Also in Las Vegas, they are the foreclosure capital of America, and people are almost beating the crap out of each other to get into a mobile home because they're priced so competitively to the houses. A NADA guide's not going to help you there either, because the value of a mobile home is what the region is willing to pay, and that's why you do that thing where you go and you look at mobile homes. You try, your goal is to see 100, because the law of large numbers. If you go see 100 mobile homes, you're going to find like 5, maybe 7 mobile homes that are just perfect. Like that guru, and I'm not going to say his name, and I really want to, says, if you can't find a mobile home in 100, then mobile home investing is not for you. But again, most people find it within the first 30. So, if you're in an area where the NADA guide doesn't make sense, that's a good thing to do so you get a feel of it. Where I live, 4 mobile homes, all priced below NADA. So, The going price is a lot better than what people are asking. So I got a good feeling about this. I'm Wade, that mobile home guy, coming to you from the other side of the stop sign where pizza delivery fails to deliver. Have a great day.